Hi everyone, welcome to Reading with Reference. My name's Katherine. I'm one of the reference librarians at the Haverford Township Free Library, and today I've got two more books to tell you about, one that I've read recently and one that I'm really excited to start, so let's get started. The first book I want to tell you about is Pretty as a Picture by Elizabeth Little. This was my first real beach book of the year in that it's the first one I actually read on the beach, and it really fit the setting for me. It was a great one to sit in the sun all day long. First of all, it's set off the coast of Lewis, Delaware on a small island, so it feels very beachy just by itself. But what made it more so for me was the plot. It follows Hollywood film editor Marissa Dahl, who has agreed to come work on a film already well into filming, which is a rarity for almost any project. What makes it even stranger is that she is told nothing about the movie. She hasn't seen the script, she doesn't know the story, and she's flown out to Delaware under top secret circumstances. All that she knows is it's another Dead Girl movie and that it's being directed by a huge name director, Tony Reese, who she's always wanted to work for. He's really brilliant and really eccentric. What she does find out when she gets there, though, is that it's specifically the story of a young woman named Caitlin Kelly, who years ago was found murdered on a beach chair on the island, but not until she had been lying there dead for several hours. The case has been unsolved all this time, at least officially, but both the small island community and the film's erratic but brilliant director believe that they know who did it. As the movie shoot progresses, though, creepy things start to happen on set to both the cast and the crew, not to mention the unsolved mystery of why Marissa's predecessor was fired so abruptly. I loved how atmospheric this book was, maybe because I was also on a humid beach while I read it, but it really felt like I was on that island, feeling things become creepier and more claustrophobic as the story progressed. The other thing I really loved about it, though, was Marissa herself. She's a super unusual narrator/heroine. It's never explicitly stated in the book, but her internal monologue and external reactions to things suggest that she's probably somewhere on the autism spectrum. What I loved about the way that Elizabeth handles so well is that she doesn't dismiss any of the good parts about Marissa's life or her work or her few but meaningful personal relationships, but nor does she ignore how difficult it is for her to connect with others both at and outside of work. Both are kind of in balance, which I think is probably pretty true to real life. Her narration really adds an extra layer to the book and the mystery without being at all distraction. Marissa may be different than those around her, but she's still capable and bright and maybe even the perfect person to solve the mysteries of who killed Caitlin and what's going on her movie set. It's a really enjoyable book. It was a pretty quick read and I really liked it. The second book I want to talk about is The Comeback by Ella Berman. I haven't actually started this one yet, but I've had my eye on it for a while, and then I recently saw that Jenna Bush Hagar picked it for her monthly Read with Jenna book club, and I often end up liking the things that she picks or have liked them prior to her picking them even. Plus, the summary reminds me a little bit of Pretty as a Picture, so I wanted to talk about them sort of together. A lot of you have probably heard about Kate Elizabeth Russell's recent novel, My Dark Vanessa, which has been called the first novel of the Me Too movement. But from what I know about The Comeback, it seems to me that that's really the first real novel of the genre, since it's set in the world of predatory Hollywood producers and directors like Harvey Weinstein, whose behavior and downfall really started Me Too and Time's Up. The Comeback follows Grace Turner, a former teen actress and superstar who disappeared right at the height of her career. Now she's fresh out of rehab and mostly sober, and living with her parents and out of the limelight. But then she's asked to present a Lifetime Achievement Award to Abel York, the director who made her and controlled every aspect of her life for the 8 years before she crashed out of Hollywood. It's then that Grace realizes that she can't keep stuffing the reasons for that crash and burn down, trying to hide from them behind pills and other bad decisions. The book jacket calls this a deep dive into the psyche of a young actress raised under the influence of a charming, manipulative film director and the moment when she decides his time's up, which I love. I think that's a great tagline. It's also what I think of as sort of the connective thread between this and Pretty as a Picture. The man that Marissa goes to work for, Tony Reese, could also be described as charming and manipulative, and it's really refreshing to start to see authors starting to take men like this to task through their work rather than dismissing their behavior as just eccentric or asking us to try to separate it from their brilliant work, which often enables men like Harvey Weinstein to continue doing what he did unchecked for as long as he did. Anyway, I'm really excited to dig into this book and find out how Ella Berman deals with this topic and to see if it's at all similar to the story that Elizabeth Little tells. So that's The Comeback by Ella Berman and Pretty as a Picture by Elizabeth Little. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you're reading something great for this sort of rainy weekend. Thanks again. Take care.